When it comes to investing, something that is high risk can actually be low risk in the right circumstances. For example, a portfolio of, say, 90% stocks is considered higher risk than a portfolio with, say, 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Something like a bond is considered fixed income, meaning you know what you're getting before you get it. And bonds are used to bring stability to your portfolio. But typically, stocks produce higher returns over the long term than bonds will. So while stocks are higher risk, they can make you more money in the long term. But here's the caveat. Even though bonds are safer, they can actually be more risky in the sense that if you have a portfolio with a high amount of bonds in it and you are decades away from your goal, think like someone in their 20s or 30s investing for traditional retirement, this could actually be more risky. Why? Because if bonds produce a lower average annual return, the risk actually becomes you not having enough money to retire because you chose the less risky option. However, if you were investing for a short-term goal, say one with like a 3-year timeline, having a higher proportion of stocks could actually just increase your probability of losing money instead of making it. According to a study by Vanguard using historical data, they were able to determine that investing in a diversified portfolio for 5 years meant you had a 1 in 5 chance of losing money. As time went on, the risk of losing money decreased, and at the 20-year mark, this actually dropped to 0 based on their data. Additionally, there are specific investing strategies that are more risky, like day trading or putting all of your money into a single stock. When you put all your eggs in one basket, you are lacking diversification, and this is called concentration risk. Lastly, your risk is influenced by your personal situation. So if you don't have an emergency fund, if you have high interest debt that is hard for you to service, even with the right investing strategy for your goal, it's still possible that you cause you to lose money. Let's say you put all of your extra cash into the stock market and then the stock market corrects like it does. The stock market corrects on average once every 2 years. For the people who are prepared properly and they have their financial foundation in place, this is nothing to be worried about because it just presents a buying opportunity. But for people that don't have their financial foundation in place, let's say an emergency comes up and you don't have the cash to cover it, or your high interest debt becomes unmanageable. You put yourself in a situation where you've put all your extra money into the stock market and now you are forced to sell while the market is down. It's not the market that caused you to lose money at that point. It's you that's causing you to lose money. You are locking in your losses. And that is a big mistake that I see over and over again. So ultimately, risk is relative to your personal situation, your timeline, your goals, and your overall investing strategy. Something that is not risky in one situation could be extremely risky in another. And this is why I say the first step to investing needs to be you figuring out what your goal is. Once you know what your goal is, then you can figure out the best investments and the best accounts for that specific goal.